Hello, my name is Dallas Abraham. I'm an 8th grade English language arts teacher at Warren Middle School. My learning objectives are broken into two parts. I have a learning goal, which is my end goal, then my learning targets to help my students reach the end goal. The end goal for my students is to be able to describe how differing point of view slash perspectives of characters affect audience and or readers, creating suspense, mystery, and or humor. Today we are hitting our first target, which is I can identify point of view. Today each student will need a marker board, marker, and pencil eraser, and a guided note sheet. I will be lecturing while students fill in the blanks of their guided notes. I've decided to use guided notes for my IEP entitled students who have a hard time keeping up with note taking. I also want to accommodate my ELL students as well as my students who don't have the best handwriting. I have 8 tables and 32 chairs in my classroom. There are about 7 tables that are perfect for breaking into small groups after a whole group lesson. I also have a square table that I consider teaching or consider my teacher led small group for students who need extra help after a lesson has been taught. I also have bean bags, a library, just for like a cozy place to read because it is English language arts, and I just want kids to have a place where they are comfortable reading and want to read more. I have a place for student work as well that I call my Wow Work Wall. I also write my students' names uh, down on my board who are drawn from a drawing as my WOW students as bi-weekly acknowledgement of them participating in class and just showing overall Jack behavior in my classroom. Now it's time for to show my instructional strategies. The strategies I use today will be I'll be lecturing as my students fill in their guided notes, um, and also just going over together using the I do, we do, you do model to kind of, get them into the swing of things. First, you must pour the soup into the bowl. How do we know that this is second person? You. Right, I thought it was you were in there too somewhere. Third person limited point of view. The narrator is not a character in the As I am teaching, I ask for a lot of feedback as to how I got what I got after taking notes. I try to show an example and try to walk through the example as to how, things connect to each other. I also like to use my smart board during the lecture just because, kids love technology and, a lot of things are a lot quicker when you're able to use technology. So I use my board as well as some whiteboards to kind of just get feedback as I ask a question, as well as, you know, just see if they're getting what it is that I'm teaching. All right. Any questions? All right. So let's do pronouns used for third person: he, she, they. All right. Third person limited point of view. Sonny ran toward the goal line as fast as he could. He was still thrilled to realize that no other players had caught up to him yet. All right, so third person limited point of view. With third person limited point of view, how do we know that it's limited? He and him, yes, we know from the pronouns. But what is another clear indicator? What are those things that they say the narrator does? Or they know? It talks about one person. Who's the one person? Sonny. And then they talk about how he feels. Yep, as well as. Yep, that's it. You got it. Let's move forward. more than one character when telling the story. So, in your guided notes, you're going to write all. After teaching for so long, I eventually want to kind of see if they can get it on their own without me walking through it. And so that's where the you do kind of comes into play. How do we know this is third person objective?
Well, first it wasn't saying anything about their thoughts or feelings.
Right.
It was saying exactly what they said.
Okay, cool. She's totally right. Great job. All right. Kimmy walked up the hill. She realized that the atmosphere was too quiet. She didn't hear the familiar song of her favorite cardinal, Scarlet, who almost always sang to her. All right, go ahead and take your time and write your answer down, please. Perfect group of people. I could have asked anything better. Y'all are doing great. Okay. Three, two, one. Let me see him. Third person. All right. You guys. And let's see if we are right. Let's see if we're right before we get too excited. Let's see if we're right. Drum roll, please. Thank you. All right. Third person limited. You were totally right. You guys are doing awesome. Very, very proud of you. Okay. So now let's move on to the last one, and this one's a dead giveaway. But we're going to talk about why it is what it is. We're going to talk about it. Okay, you ready? Go ahead and write omni, and I'll know. Oh, you weren't even gonna write it down because it's a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway. I understand. All right. And what is our answer? You can go ahead and show it. Drum roll if you would like. All right. Third person omniscient. I saw everybody. So yes, third person omniscient. Why is this third person omniscient?
Because they explain everybody's thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
They don't just explain. They explain more than one character, not just a single character.
You are totally right. Is anybody disagreeing with her? All right, that sounds like everybody's going to agree. All right, so what I want you to do is you're going to get one of these exit tickets, and you are going to answer those questions. Make sure your name's on it. You're going to also underline to let me know what's your indicator as to how you got your answer. Okay. And you'll turn these in at the end of class. Or actually, you can just give it to me when you finish with it. Okay. Overall, I really enjoy teaching point of view, getting kids to the point of their understanding point of view and what this part of what the standard is asking them. I feel like I was successful at it, but I feel like I could have done a few things a little differently, maybe given opportunities for other people other than just maybe one student to give feedback. And also figuring out a way for my ELL students that maybe have had like some of the words in Spanish on my presentation. So those are just some things that I see that I could have maybe done better. But overall, I felt like the lesson went really well. I look forward to teaching this every year because it's just something that the kids seem to quickly catch on to, and I am very happy with the outcome each time.